Hello everyone, my name is Vlad. I'm an entrepreneur, investor, and ISO analyst. And today we're going to talk about three tokens of the week, which, in my opinion, are interesting, have some potential, or they have something what is going on around them at the moment. So it would be interesting to take a look at them. So let's start with the first token. So, what is SkyCoin and what is basically the Sky Token project? Well, the SkyCoin is not only a token, but also it's a separate platform and it's a blockchain application ecosystem. So you have to remember that it's not decentralized application based on the platform; it's a platform itself. So if you think about basically the platform, it allows its clients or members of network to browse the internet with a guarantee of discretion and security, and it runs on a Skyware miner. Basically, Skyware miner is a sort of like mining rig, but which was designed specifically for SkyCoin platform. And again, it's much more complicated than that, and I'll go and talk about it. So. First of all, unlike proof of stake or proof of work, which Bitcoin is using or Neo is using, SkyCoin consensus algorithm does not require mining or it doesn't take an actual transaction fees like in proof of stake. So SkyCoin uses Obelisk as a consensus protocol. So how does it work? Well, Obelisk distributes influence over the network according to Web2 Trust. So there is no mining, and instead, Web consists of nodes. So these nodes you can think of computers or sky miners. Uh, and each node subscribes to a list of a trusted nodes. Nodes with more subscribers hold more influence in the network. You can think of it as a new decentralized internet, a wireless mesh network that pays you for supporting the network. So when we're talking about mining within this network, what your mining rig is doing is that you're just supporting the network. You're not running transactions or you're not finding blocks. So how Sky Token is related? Well, all the actions which are going within the system, they are done with the help of a Sky Token. So Sky Token is not an ERC20 token; it's a separate token which works in a SkyCoin platform. And one of the reasons why um, Sky token price went up so much is because they actually launched a Skywire testnet, and before that there were several other news. Let's actually take a look at the token and see what's going on with the price. At the moment, the price of SkyCoin is about $35, and you guys can see that it has 41% growth and in USD value and 51% against Bitcoin. But what's really more astonishing and interesting about this project, as if you guys will look at the peak of the project, it was, of course, in January and December, and you probably know that a lot of project went up. That's when Bitcoin reached its maximum, like in the late December. So it shouldn't surprise you. However, what's really more interesting about this project, as you guys know, that after that, Bitcoin went down, even like down to like 6,000 something, and all other tokens, including Ethereum, Litecoin, Neo, and so on, they all went down. However, look, this is like there are very few projects um, that went up higher than they were in December. So if we look at Bitcoin, it reached about $20,000, then it went down to $6,000, then it came back to $10,000. Now it's coming back to $7,500. But this project, look, it went up over let's see if in Bitcoin value, I'm not talking about dollar value, we're talking about Bitcoin value. Look, the Bitcoin value, its highest peak was 359,000 Satoshi. Right now it's 476,000. So we're talking about an actual growth despite a large bearish market. And this is pretty interesting. So, and look at the volume. The volume is 10 million dollars. That's only for 20. Sorry, yeah, that's about like $10 million, and uh, its circulating supply is pretty low. Take a look; it's only about 9 million, and the total supply is a little bit higher than Bitcoin. There is still a max supply, but that's like another topic. I'm not gonna cover it because I tried to squeeze the maximum of the information. However, um, take a look at the markets. There are not that many actual large platforms using this trading this token. Among them is Cryptopia, and I am actually not familiar with um, Chao X, and I'm not familiar with this one. With this exchange. However, you guys can see that despite being listed on pretty unknown or not widely used exchanges, this token has already shown impressive progress. So I think that if the token is able to get to top 50 tokens and reach the market capitalization of $317 million without being listed on any serious exchange, like Bittrex, Bitfinex, Binance, uh, this token can can show some interesting momentum in the future. However, again, be careful because a lot of people might use pump and dump. So if I'm a large investor and let's say the volume is, as you can see, guys, it's just 10 million, and if I have an influence or capital of like 30, 20 million dollars, I could easily pump and dump token like this. So uh, I'm not sure if it's a really good entry point at the moment. However, I suggest you to follow this project and see what's going on because I'll be frank with you, I was not familiar with this project uh, till maybe like a couple weeks ago, and it looks pretty interesting. So if you think that this project has some potential, uh, smash the like button and leave it in the comments. If you think it doesn't have any potential or it's scam or something wrong, also write your opinion. And I just want to see what other people think about this project. Now let's move on to the next project, and that project is actually has something really interesting going on. RAM. If you guys are not familiar with this project, I actually advise to participate in pre-ICO or pre-sale. That was back in probably mid of fall 2017, and since that Rama has shown some pretty good results. Now of course there was price drop with a bearish market, but all early participants who participated during a pre-sale actually made some good profits. But now let's come back to Rama and talk about the concept. If you're not familiar with Rama, basically it's a blockchain project that implements unbreakable foolproof user authentication to protect users, employees, and companies' data from cyber attacks. Um, if that sounds too complicated for you, you can think about it as something that replaces passwords. Because sometimes, passwords, sometimes we just simply forget about them. Sometimes people use, very silly passwords like password or 12345 or something like that. And that becomes the reason why people actually get hacked. Because there's a lot of software, usually they're called brute forcing software. So they just use they try to log in using the most common passwords, and it works in a lot of cases. So if you run in company, you don't want that to happen to your employees. And Rame basically replaces the passwords with certificates, uh, which are also um, can be secured by the blockchain technology. So you cannot really counterfeit this information. So once you understand the concept why it's so cool, you have to look deeper into Rema, and this is why. One of the reasons is, first of all, they signed a bunch of partnerships since they were released on the market, including Mercury Cash and Gladius. Gladius is another cybersecurity company, and if I recall it correctly, most of Gladius is concentrating on DDoS attacks. But I still suggest you to also take a look at Gladius, because this is another awesome project, and I think that Gladius has a lot of potential. So, because of that, Renaissance signs a really good agreement with Gladius. It's a strategic partnership. So both projects are good. They're taking specific niche, so I'm really excited about it. Now, another important thing is REME opened a research lab. This lab is currently working on practical application of REME protocol in Internet of Things and app-to-app solutions. So we're talking about not only like blockchain development, but actually REME tries to imply all this technology into Internet of Things. That's another huge development market. So we can see that REME has really large strategic vision of the market development. So really also like about it. But another important thing is why I think REME is gonna surge in price in the future is because they have a planned series of important milestones for 2016. For example, public testing of network is already scheduled for the third quarter of this year. They also have a bunch of other events. So if you're interested, you can go on their main website and actually see their roadmap. It's pretty detailed. Now, again, if you look at the REME token, you will see that the price actually surged, and there are several reasons behind it. Well, first of all, REME was listed on Gate.io. That's an exchange, and that allowed REME to form some trading volume, and that's pretty good. Unfortunately, they're not yet on any large exchange like, I don't know, Bittrex, Binance, Poloniex, and so on. However, we already can see some progress. You know, the volume is increasing, and sooner or later they're probably gonna get listed on a really large exchange. And when that's gonna happen, the price is gonna surge with some serious numbers. Now, REME is one of the consensus sponsors. REME presented their demo version on New York City Consensus. You guys know there was a consensus this year on May in New York, and REME was there, and they has shown some really good presentation. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people actually didn't know about REME, know about their existence. Even though REME has shown some good results on ICO, basically a blockchain community sort of ignored REME uh, because the we have to agree the ICO market is overall is um, oversaturated with a bunch of products. So it's really hard to focus on each of this project. But RAM actually made it not just participated in ICO or in consensus. They actually delivered the product. They're working hard on the product, and they're demonstrating their product to large audience of blockchain professionals. So I think because of that, because they participated in consensus and one of the sponsor of it, they are probably doing a really good job in networking. So I would expect that they would probably will announce some new partnership with some large platforms or large blockchain players in the nearest future. Now, another thing what I want to talk about is that REM is running an ambassador campaign. And if you don't know, basically, ambassador campaign, it's a campaign which is designed to get attention to the project and form a solid community. And I really respect that because forming community around the project is a really hard job because people hop from one project to another, but Rem is trying to concentrate on this problem, and I really admired it. So let's actually talk a little bit about this ambassador campaign. If you'll go on Bitcoin Talk org. I will leave this link in below section. You guys can see that. Let me see how much do they pay people actually for participating. Look, so as a gesture of gratitude for your work, we have amassed an ambassador pool to the amount of 8,500,000 RAM tokens. Now let's see what's the price for uh, what's the current price of the token. So the current price is slightly about a little bit less than 2 cents. Let's assume it's 2 cents, right? Let me do this. Let me use the calculator. And so we're gonna have 2 cents multiple. So this guy is actually almost given away $170,000, and of course the price is probably gonna change soon. Just take a look at this. You guys know that the market is pretty bearish, and Bitcoin went down. But if we will look at an actual token, uh, just 2 days ago, the price went almost up to 3 cents, and the Satoshi value is 347. In compare with March when it was 130, that's some pretty impressive growth. That's like 3 times growth. So again, as I said, um, Rema has a lot of potential, and I think that Ambassador will play a big role in it because it will form community in the future. And also, if you don't feel like buying the token, but you feel like maybe you can contribute to the Rema network, you can actually participate, become a member of this campaign, and make some Rema. Look, signature campaign. So basically, they're giving away 2 million tokens. Hero member, legendary. Look, guys, you can make. If you're, let's assume maybe you're not legendary member, but let's say you're a senior member, you can make 11,000. That would be how much? Let's make calculation. Multiple. So, for example, you can make easily about $200 per week just for signature campaign. I think it's a pretty well, because I don't need to actually to put a lot of efforts. So I really like when companies like this they try to form the community and they put some efforts. They try to make it more entertaining. So come on the link which I will put below my video and see if you want to participate, and maybe you can make some free tokens because again, I love airdrops, I love free tokens, and I love when you can sort of contribute in the formation of the community. Now let's go to the third token and talk about it. Elastus. It's a pretty interesting project and it's relatively fresh. If I recall it correctly, it hit the market somewhere in February this year. Uh, so far, basically, Elastus has shown some good progress. It went up and it went down just like majority of tokens, but there are a lot of things going on around it. So basically, what is Elastus? Uh, Elastus basically it's a separate platform. Again, it's not a D app, it's a platform. And it's a safe environment on the web where decentralized applications are detached from the internet, where also permitting full scalability to users. Again, it's a peer-to-peer platform, and it uses its own tokens called ELA tokens, and these tokens are used to register ID to purchase items such as these decentralized applications, digital products, and cloud storage space. What I like about this project that it has good partnership network. So let's actually take a look at Elastus, and I'm gonna show you. Just let's see where is their partnership. I think I need to go to the main page. So basically, if you guys will see, um, their partnership network. They have a pretty impressive partners such as Bitmain, Ampool, and Neo. And if you guys not familiar, basically Ampool and Bitmain are very important uh, mm, in Bitcoin mining community. These guys have really large influence on the Bitcoin price and basically the Bitcoin development. So Neo, of course, I don't think I have to tell what is Neo, but uh, again, another really strong part about this project, and we will see in the team. So besides having a more or less important or strong team, the only thing that I don't like is maybe just some problem with my browser, but I don't see the connection to LinkedIn profiles. So I have to copy paste their names and basically Google them, so it's not very convenient. But if you look at advisor team, look, they have people such as CEO of Bitmain and um, Han Fei Da, who is a founder and CEO of Neo. So they have a pretty strong advisory board. And if we will look at their actual price, what we will see is that back in February, the price reached almost $90, and then it went down to $26. But not so long time ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, the price went up as much as $60 again. And of course, it was much uh, closer to the highest value in Bitcoin or against the Bitcoin, right? And if you look at the markets, what I really like is that they're listed on Huobi, which is a pretty good exchange. And what I like even more that their trading volume is pretty high and almost close like to, yeah, it's actually $10 million, and it's traded is against US dollars. So actually, you don't need to trade only against Bitcoin. You can actually trade it against dollars. So that's another convenient thing. Another thing what I really like about this project is that its circulating supply is only 5 million. That's a pretty low uh, low circulation token. Now their total supply is a little bit larger than the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has about 21 million. This one has 33 million, but it's not too far off. Again, as I said, what I like about this project is that it's a separate platform. Now, the thing about this platform is I'm not quite frankly sure how better it is if I would compare it, for example, with Lisk or Ethereum. But overall, investing or buying platform tokens is a good idea because their value grows with the value of decentralized application which are built on the platform. So to summarize, our three tokens which I covered today is that we have Elastos, which is pretty good token because it's a platform token with a strong team and strong board. We have Sky token, which has a pretty good concept, good idea, their own hardware. And we have Remap, which is trying to form a loyal community and running its own ambassador program. So if you're interested in any of these tokens, I will leave all the links below, and I will leave the link in description for the ambassador campaign for MS. So maybe you'll be lucky, and you'll make a couple $1,000, maybe even much more than that. Well, thank you so much for watching my video, and if you like my video, hit the like button and subscribe. Leave your comment and tell me your opinion. Which token you like the more, and what token you don't like out of all these three tokens. See you next week.